Hi all, and welcome back to my channel. And welcome to another month of hits and misses. This has been probably the craziest month out of the year for me, I would have to say. It's just been all sort of kinds of intensity up in here. For any of y'all who know, you know, dealing with all that kind of shiz and stuff, my depression has been... Whew! We have said goodbye to regular depression and we have welcomed in seasonal depression, and it is in full swing. But we have made it through the month. We have made it through 2020. We're gonna go all sailing on into 2021. I don't know if it's gonna be my year or not, but I'm gonna try my hardest ding dang whateverness to make it better. So I am beyond excited for all the wonderful things that are going to be coming. Of course, the more things change, the more they stay the same. I'm super excited for all the things I have planned for the coming year. It's gonna be all kinds of awesome sauce. So let's just start this off with the ever so obvious La Musica. You would think that at this point in this month I would be all like, well, I was listening to this Christmas song and this Christmas... No. I must admit, this kind of like Christmas this year is the year that I have felt the least like Christmassy. It just kind of came and went, and all the kind of fun, fanciful, whatever sort of feelings were kind of overshadowed by the anxiety, stress, and depression. I will leave down below linked the songs that I did listen to that are Christmas, which is essentially Trans-Siberian Orchestra. So I will leave those linked down below just because they're bomb diggity shiznit songs. But one of the main songs that I had been listening to, I actually blame my cousin for. She's really into the K-pop. I have very specific groups that I like, where she's got like 12,000 groups that she loves and has multi-kind biases in. And this new group dropped. The name of the group is Aespa, and this is the song Black Mamba, which is just, I mean, I feel like we've got this one, we've got Boombaya by Blackpink, I've got Icy by ITZY. This falls under my like bad bee getting ready, all kinds of like sassiness. Like if I want to amp up the sexiness and I'm getting all ready, I'm like, oh yeah, I'm gonna go out, I'm gonna strut my stuff. It's those kind of songs that kind of bring out my inner stripper and give me a lot of energy. So that's what that song has been doing for me. I cannot wait to hear more from this group because this is their debut. This is their first single and it is an absolute freaking bop. Also, if you swing a certain side to side direction like I do, the girls are pretty stinking pretty. Then two other songs that kind of go hand in hand and are kind of like really random. Like I said, you know when you just go through and you hear a song and you're like, ah, that vibes with me and my existential crisis right now. And that is from Nickelback. I always get so sad and people are like, Nickelback sucks, I hate Nickelback. And I'm just over here like, but I like Nickelback, they have some good songs. And the two that I've been listening to is Stand Together as well as Bottoms Up. The Stand Together is sort of kind of like a, like I said, I've been kind of volatile, kind of emotional. So I'm like, it's kind of like a rallying song where I'm like, it's okay, it's all right. You gonna make it, you is strong, you is good, you is important. And then the Bottoms Up is just me getting, I mean, that really is like if I would be like, all right, my debut as an exotic dancer would be to Bottoms Up. I'm sorry, let's just put it out there. So I've just been kind of all over the place music-wise this month, and those are the three that really stick out to me as being like pretty much on repeat repeatedly through the month. You know, I just kind of like listen and re-listen and listen over again. Obviously, they be linked down below. Now let's get into the makeup. We're gonna start off with two obvious ones going on here. My first impressions trying these on camera has been up. I will leave that link down below. But from Colourpop, which is a brand that typically releases way too much and typically releases 99.99999 times out of 10, they be releasing stuff that I don't give two flips about. But we have the Child palette here, which is all sorts of beautiful dark green and grungy. And we have the Raw Beauty Christie at Forest Sight palette, which is all sorts of deep, dark, rich, and decadent gloriousness. To put it plainly, I absolutely love both of these palettes. I feel like these palettes are an example of what Colourpop can do when they stop releasing something every other, well, they didn't stop, but I'm just saying, if they stopped releasing things every other second and kind of really took the time to curate their palettes the way that these are, because they're nice, they're curated, they're a little bit different than to what Colourpop is constantly releasing on the market. Like when Colourpop does their shiz right, I absolutely adore it. But the problem is they keep releasing things left and right, and there isn't really a consistent level of quality control, and all the stuff just keeps looking the same. So even if this hadn't been a collaboration with Raw Beauty Kristi, who I love, and if this hadn't been little Grogu, I still would have bought them because the color stories are absolutely up my shiznam. I've actually got this color Emerald City all up in that outer V today, and I've been just reaching for these just so stinking much. I'm going to be doing my best makeup of the year, my best eyeshadow palettes of the year, and these two are two ones that if they come back into stock, would highly recommend getting them, especially if you love greeny, grungy, kind of dark, ethereal, otherworldly, and vaguely threatening sort of looks. Definitely get your hands on this shiz. Now we're gonna go into a palette that didn't have as wonderful of a reception. We have, from Give Me Glow Cosmetics, who I love, the Vivid Rose palette, which if you take a look inside this thing, you would be like, hot holy shizness diggity darn. These colors are the epitome of gloriousness. The spectrum of pink to purple is a decadent dream. And the color spectrum is absolutely stunning. However, compared to the traditional Give Me Glow formula, I assume this is it too, but to the singles that I have, to the Juicy Olive, to the Vintage Rose, which was the originator from this, I find these particular shadows, especially the mattes, really hard and difficult to work with. I was in the middle of filming my try-on. If you want to see that absolute travesty, I will leave that link down below as well. But in the middle of me like trying on, like in the middle of filming, I had to go help with my grandmother, and I had my mask on, and I just had like my eyeshadow, and my aunt was across the bed from me, and she was like looking at my eyeshadow, and I was like, I know it's awful, and she's like, I mean, no, you apply very well, but I'm used to it being so much smoother and seamless. They look so chalky. And I was like, I know, thank you, in the mouth of two witnesses. And the mattes, just compared to what I'm used to, the shimmers are nice. They need a little bit of finagling. I think my eyes have just hit to a point of where they're 30, and I just have to fuss with them more. I mean, that sucks for me. I've tried different eye primers. I'm trying a different eye primer today. I was just really disappointed and let down because I had such high hopes. The color spectrum is stunning. I typically love Give Me Glow Cosmetics. This is the first absolute dud I have had from them, and it's just super disappointing because the colors are beautiful. You've got these two like true purples, the hot pinks, these kind of like dusty mauve-y whatever. I mean, it has all sorts of things going for it, and I've tried it multiple different times, and each time they're just not fun. Like, I can make it work, but for how much this is and for just whatever, I shouldn't have to struggle to make it work. And if I do have to struggle to make it work, you know, that it's going in the back of the drawer, and it's going to sit there for a while until I get frustrated enough with it, and it's going to get decluttered. Should my opinion change, I will let you know, but as for now, this is a palette that I just do not enjoy using, and it makes me really sad. We gotta talk about a skincare item. Obviously, it was actually kind of funny because I think it was 2 hits and misses ago, I talked about the Tatcha rice polish in Deep. Well, y'all would have seen on Snapchat that I did run out of it. I completed it up and I was like, okay, all right, instead of opening something new, I have this one here, which is the classic rice polish. I think I'd gotten this one and was thinking like, oh, it's not doing enough for my skin. It's not exfoliating enough because if my skin isn't bleeding, I'm not exfoliated. Y'all remember your girl used to exfoliate her face with a freaking body scrub. And so I was like, okay, all right, well, instead of, like I said, opening something new, let's use up what I've got here. And I've been really enjoying this. I think I've just, like when I first tried the rice polishes, I was like, yeah, okay, they're good. And then now that I like stopped using it and then I've come back to them, I've realized how much I really do enjoy them and how much my skin really likes them. Because with using the rice polishes, especially these ones compared to that Amore Pacific one that I used to like that I now don't like, what I really enjoy about these is they really get your face feeling clean without stripping your moisture or anything like that away. Your face just feels really nice and clean and just absolutely totally completely ready for serums and hydration and moisturizers. This is a fantastic step in my skincare routine. Because I'm a little bit obsessive, I double cleanse. I use like a gel cleanser and then I'll go in with something like this, and it doesn't make my face feel like it's got like a filmy residue like the Amore Pacific one does. It's just a nice, really good, just kind of flatline, does it cleanser. And one thing about this is this stuff lasts a long time. I was using my deep one and I had less than half of it when I came here to Tennessee. I've been here for 3 months and I just used that shiz up. So these last you a very long time. I feel like cost breakdown, because I think these are like 58 or something like that. I think cost breakdown for how long you have it, it's really good. And like I said, I've been really enjoying these. This bougie skincare. Next up is sort of something random that I didn't like. I brought kind of to Tennessee the foundations that I knew I wanted to use, and I brought like Holy Grail primers and other primers that I'm like, well, I might as well try and use these up. And this one here is the Ciate London Watermelon Burst Hydrating Primer, which I got because I was like, okay, all right, hopefully it's like the Milk Cosmetics Hydro Grip Primer. This is not like the Milk Cosmetics Hydro Grip Primer, because the Milk Cosmetics, the Hydro Grip Primer, I don't want to say it's thick. It's just that when you put it on your skin and you kind of wait for it to just kind of sink in and adhere there, it leaves this really nice, I don't want to say tacky, it's just this really great sort of, I don't want to say obvious. It makes a great base for your face. It's all there. Everything is gonna adhere and apply beautifully to the base that you've put down. This is a lot more watery. It's a lot thinner. I feel like it doesn't give as much, like, I don't know, priming coverage that I would like. Maybe if your skin has less issues than mine. Like, I feel like this is a primer that maybe a 20-something with really nice skin would really like, but it just didn't have enough like correction and filling and smoothing and just prepping, and my foundation just kind of looked, this is okay. Like, I used up the last bit of the Hydro Grip I had and I used it here, and then I went in with this around here, and there was a significant difference in how flawless my foundation looked from here to here. So I haven't decided yet if I'm going to try to use this up, because y'all know how I feel about, like, because I paid my money for this. I can't return it. I want to use it. But when it comes to like my base products, honestly, any products, if I don't like it, if it doesn't work for me, I don't use it. But at the same time, I want to use it up because I spent my money on it and I don't want to waste my money. So we'll have to see. Maybe I'll try it with some different foundations, but with the foundations I've tried it with, just wasn't up to snuff with what my usual foundation, face, whatever, complexion, whatever is. Next up is a nail polish. So My good Judy JD is the one that got me into all sorts of amazing fan-tucking fastic polish. He was just like, you need the shininess on your tippies. And so he sent me two from this brand, and this is the Polish Me Silly, and this is one of their glow polishes. And what they mean by like glow polish is they just have this like they glow, they have this shift, and it just looks like all kinds of beautifulness. And this one here is an Emerald City Glow, which is just absolutely stunning. No amount of pictures and no amount of whatever on camera is going to do this polish justice. It is so beautiful. Like this would be the perfect if you want like a holiday polish, even though the holidays are done. But if you want a holiday polish, but you don't want to be like all kinds of ostentatious, because it's got that beautiful like jade green, and then it just has this like goldy, reddy reflect glowiness to it. These glow polishes are some of my absolute favorites. They're such a phenomenal formula. I am never gonna be buying me no Essie, no Sally Hansen, no nothing, because the polishes I've tried from these indie companies have just absolutely blown me out of the water. This is just if you are a green loving person, you need to get you this shiz. It is absolutely perfection. Now let's talk about some lip products. These are items from the Melt Cosmetics X Beetlejuice collection, which I'm gonna say right now, I absolutely think it is completely disgusting that people bought the collectors whatever, and I saw them selling it on eBay for like $900. I am personally opposed to that sort of behavior, and that is gonna be another notch in my talk about in the video I'm gonna be doing discussing why I hate makeup scalping. So get buckled in, because that's coming in 2021 too. But we have two of the bullet lipsticks. If you haven't seen my trying out or my review, I'm not sure how relevant that's gonna be, but I'll leave them linked down below anyway if you want to give them a watch. These are the bullet lipsticks in Calypso, which is this like pinky, reddy, rougey, something. It's got like a hint of shimmer to it. And then the shade Miss Argentina. And basically, my thoughts on these are just, I've tried to use them and they're just not like, your girl is not a bullet lipstick aficionado. I used to say, oh, I'll never use liquid lipstick because they dry out my lips. I used to have a whole bunch of the Kat Von D ones, you know, and it's just kind of as I've gone through in my makeup journey, I know what I like, and I don't like really dry bullet lipsticks. If that's your thing, let me know down below. These will be amazing for you. But they were just, when it came to the Miss Argentina, it's a pretty red. I'm not a huge red lipstick person, although everyone was like, oh, it looks so good on you. And I was like, well, thank you. And it's just, I mean, there are plenty of other red lipstick I have, even in bullet form, that are just a better formula. I mean, this you have to press, push, and drag that shiz across your lips. I tried using a lip brush and that was a little bit better, but I'm like, why am I gonna go through the painstaking process of getting product off of this onto a lip brush on my lip when I could just whip out a liquid lipstick or another bullet lipstick that's better formulated? And then for the Calypso shade, which is most definitely better, it's just sort of, I have other shades like this. Once again, I just have other shades that are better formulated. And for what it is, I mean, I feel like these lipsticks were just kind of like, they were made in like kind of coordinating shades that work with the theme, but they were just kind of, I just don't like the formula on these. And for a shade that's kind of like this and that's pretty and unique, it's just, the formula just doesn't make it worth it. I look at it and I'm just like, I have very little desire to use you. And then the lip products from the collection that I actually really enjoyed are these, what are they even called? I'm not entirely sure, but they are the melt version of the KVD Glimmer Veils, if you're familiar with those. I own most of them because I really like sparkly whateverness, but I will say that if Melt decides to come out with more shades of these, I won't be upset because I think that this is a superior formula to the KVD ones, because what's really nice about these, this is a formula you gotta shake up, you gotta do the whatever. It's like this weird suspended liquid lipsticks, high gloss, high shine foiled situation thing. But what I really appreciate about these that I feel that some of the KVD shades did is these, for one, they dry down really nicely. I've tried them on their own. I've tried them on top of liquid lipstick. And not only do they dry down really well, they also don't flake or crumble. Part of my problem with some of the KVD ones, and you put them on, they would look really pretty and then they would sink into every single crevice on your lips, every single one. Not a single line was missed. And you'd sit here and you'd look really pretty, and then as soon as you moved your lips, it was Jesus take the wheel at that point. And so I was kind of expecting the same with these, but absolutely not. They're beautiful. They apply super opaque and pigmented. They dry down really nicely and they don't crumble and flake while I talk. So these are something that I have been reaching for pretty continuously because they're just so pretty. They're just so unique. I love that would actually look pretty good right now. But I really like these, and I hope they decide to make this kind of a part of their range and they bring more colors in, because I want a green one. Oh, I want a green one so bad. I would only wear it on very specific occasions, but I really want a green one. Like if I could get a green one of these to wear over the KVD Tank Girl liquid lipstick, I could die happy. Then last but not least, we gotta talk about an old but reliable. I have made it through another of my Milk Cosmetics Milk Makeup Hydro Grip Primer. I love this primer. You all know I love this primer. Every time I run through one of these, I am just reminded you are my tried and true. You have been with me through thin, through thick, through every single emotional breakdown I've had this year. And I absolutely love this shiz to death. I recommend it to absolutely anyone and everyone. I will say it's probably best for people with normal to something skin, although I think this is really good for people with just straight up dry skin. If you're oily, I would recommend getting a sample or getting the mini one, or if you're trying it at all, don't be like me and just go balls to the wall and buy the full-size product without knowing if you're gonna like it or not. But I just love this. This is becoming one of my most used up makeup products, period. I'm just going through these left and right. So excited for my empties video that will be coming when I visit Virginia. I just love this little baby, and I love using up products. You all know that. That is my shiz right now. I use something up and I'm like, that is the best feeling that ever existed. Using a product up, for me, I feel, exceeds the good feelings of even buying something new. I swell with pride within myself. I'm like, everything is falling down around you. Everything is on fire, but look at you pushing through and using up product before you open or buy something else. I'm very proud of myself for that shiz. All right, but that was my month of hits and misses for Diciembre. I hope y'all enjoyed this video. Would love to hear y'all's thoughts about the products that I talked about, as well as something that you've been loving or hating, or maybe even have middle ground thoughts about this month. Hope y'all had a wonderful, happy holidays. I will wish a fantastic Yule to everyone, and I hope y'all have a wonderful new year as well. Thank you guys so much for watching. I love you, and as always, keep it real. Mwah!